Good afternoon. Just wait for everybody to join us and for the links to go out. So whilst you're waiting, this is what we'll be making today. Hi May. Hi Sylvie. Happy Monday. We'll just give it a couple of minutes and see who can join us. Hi Sylvia. Happy Easter. Happy Monday. Oh, volume's on. We'll turn that off. Ellie, hi. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm not expecting an awful lot of people today because I think it's holiday and they'll be out and about. But it doesn't mean I have to neglect you guys. Not at all. Hi Chris, welcome. We'll just give it another 30 seconds or so and we'll get started. We've got quite a bit to do today. Our beautiful green man. I love him. Absolutely love him. He's amazing. The artwork is just unbelievable on this. Hi Fee. Hi Ruth. Welcome everyone. Right, let's get started, shall we? So this is what we're going to be making. It's our spring green man. The green man is a symbol of renewal, rebirth, springtime, the changes of seasons. Well, we seem to have had a change of season here. It's gone from gorgeous to freezing cold or wet and miserable. But we're not going to let that stop us. So I'm going to start with a piece of multifarious that is approximately 14.5 centimetres by 20 approximately. And the width in inches is 5 3/4, the length 7 3/4 of an inch. So that's our starting point. Now the green man is quite a sizable stamp, but he fits on my squarely block nicely. So I'm going to ink him up with Versafine Claire Nocturne. This is our permanent ink. Hi Yvonne. Hi Keith. Welcome everyone. Just make sure he's nicely inked up. We've got all that detail. Wipe a little bit of ink off his surrounds and we can pop him down quite central to the card. And make sure you leave him on there long enough for all that ink to get into that paper. Oh, Yvonne, that's very kind of you. Bless. And welcome those guys that don't normally join us on a Monday because you're normally hard at work. Look at that. Isn't that just a spectacular stamp? Right, I need a cloth to clean him off. Excuse me. The coffee's going slowly. Thank goodness. Right, clean him off. And next we're going to go with the vine stamp. This is gorgeous stamp, this is. I love it. Absolutely love it. But before we do that, I'm jumping the gun. I've missed a crucial stage. How rude. Right, I'm going to dry that off. Make sure it's really, really dry because we're going to masking fluid him. That's my go-to paper as well, Dawn. I forget, but it's such a glorious paper and so smooth and strong. And for this, I'm not using any watercolour at all. So I've got my mask fluid, my trusty paintbrush, and a little soap just through the bristles. Make sure that's all mixed in, and then I can get on with painting with this. Oh, bless you. Right, here we go. So I want to make sure I don't lose any of that detail. We're going to be stamping in permanent, so I just want to mask all this detail so I don't lose it in a sea of stalks. That wouldn't be a good look. So it just takes a little time, but it's worth it. I'm sure you'll agree in the end. I just don't want to lose all this texture and hard work Tracy's put into this stamp. Definitely make sure his eyes masked out. Now there's a couple of bits where you might not know naturally where to paint to with your masking fluid, so I'm going to take it to inside that branch. This is where I stop breathing. It's okay, you can wait, Kane, you're good. I'm glad about that. That's it, just sit back, relax. Enjoy the process. This is all part of the fun of crafting. I have to remind myself sometimes because I get impatient and I want to do the stamping because that's the bit I really enjoy. So I have to remind myself, just take my time. Breathe occasionally helps. Stops me falling off my chair. I just don't want to lose this artwork. All that texture underneath. Good, I'm glad you're finding it relaxing. Quite therapeutic actually. We seem to be in a rush, so now's the time to just chill, relax, enjoy. It's an important step. Dibs. Don't be misled. It doesn't automatically mean you'll get a card. Sometimes I do. On rare occasions, I do send a card out. Just every now and again. A lot of my cards go to making cards up that are sold for the air ambulance fundraiser. My friend sells them in her shop, and all the money goes to the air ambulance. I do this bit. She has to turn them into cards. We've been doing it quite some years now, and we always do really well. It's nice to know they're not going to waste. And they get double enjoyment out of it. The person buying it enjoys it, I hope. And then the person who gets rescued up the mountain, or out to sea, or wherever else they might have gotten into trouble. Right, because I put soap on my brush first, it means now that my brush is perfectly fine. There's no sticky bits, which is marvellous. Safe for another day. So we've got to let that dry. What am I painting with? It's masking fluid. Let me show you. There we go. Artist blue mask. They do it blue so you can see where you've painted it. It's mine as well, Rosemary. They tried to save my brother-in-law. He had a massive brain bleed a few years back, and they got him to Queen's Medical. That's right, I'm just wafting this while it dries. Unfortunately, they couldn't save him. The brain bleed was too big, but they did try. And bless him, it's sort of nice to know. He always wanted to go in a helicopter. It's sort of nice to know he made it. It's a shame under the circumstances, but that was something on his bucket list. Make sure these thicker areas are dry before we start stamping. I always heat the back as well as the front. It helps keep the card flat. There, now the exciting bit. So now what we're going to do is stamp all over and not worry about him. We don't have to worry about him now. So I'm going to start with Shady Lane and the Fine stamp. Love this stamp. Now I'm not inking up that part of the stem. And now I can use this. This is my base stamp. So all that beautiful new fresh green, we're going to pop everywhere. Now this is an old ink pad, but I've done it on purpose to keep it quite light, really. It's almost second generation. It's a little bit more, and sometimes you get a good one, but not often. But we're not letting that worry us at all. Sometimes it's useful to have these old ink pads still. They come into their own from time to time. So we're just working our way around his head. It's nice. I've only ever used the green man with autumnal colours. The geese, this is the Vine stamp. It's LAV 165 is the number. It's a great stamp. There. So we've got a nice amount of coverage around his head already. The next one, we're going to use the Woodland Fern. So that's these two stamps. I'll start with the big one first. And I'm going to use Grass Green. And this, again, we're going to pop round. It's a beautiful fresh green, this. Now you can keep it symmetrical, or you can go here, there and everywhere. I'm going pretty symmetrical today. I like it coming off his eye. One more. That's that colour, that one. So I'm going to go to the little one, the smaller of the two, using the same ink. Oh, come back. And we can go the other way. There's two green men, by the way. There's a small one too. A miniature. Not that mini, but smaller than this one. If you find this size a bit daunting, I mean, he's gorgeous to use, and because he's big, he's a bit easier to colour. So this one, you'll notice I'm not putting everywhere, just here and there. And I think I'll just have one there. There. Right. This is a great way to use your VersaFine Clairs. You know I love using them. So it's my thing. Right, this is Rosemary next. Another great filler. And I'm going to use this with Spruce. Gives it a bit more depth. This is a great one to target in certain areas to add strength. It's like to his beard here. And then we can almost add eyelashes. Almost. Not quite. But it's framing his eyes. For a little bit more strength. Right, so pop that back to one side. And the next is the Wild Summer Flower. Love this. This is the small one of the two. And I'm going to use avocado for this one. I had to make my mind up then. And this is almost going to add a little bit of dreaminess, a little bit of softness round and about. Going to save a couple of spots for something else. Oh, look at that. I've got inky pinkies all over it. I don't know where that's come from. I can soften that, and don't worry, we can stamp over it too. So just a gentle rub with a sand eraser usually gets the job done or softens it off. There, I think that's all of them I'm going to put on. So from the wild summer flower, I'm going to go with the dandelion head, and this time I'm going to use portobello. I love avocado as well. It's gorgeous, isn't it, Rose? I think you and I have got very similar taste in things. And again, I'm just inking up the head of the dandelion. Brings a little bit of openness, I think, to it. Now we've got the dandelion leaves. And I think we'll go a bit brighter now. We'll spice it up with a bit of verdant. And I'm going to use the large leaf first. Thank you. Yeah, thumbs up would be great. So this is going to fill some of those gaps. And remembering that we do have masking fluid on him, so I'm not overly worried about where this is going. But I am using it to fill some of these larger gaps. Round and about. You can be quite random, whatever takes your fancy. Later, Chris. Have a lovely time. And we can pop a couple of the smaller ones in, just here and there. Add some lovely brightness to the proceedings. Let's put one on the other cheek, a little further in. There. He's looking very cool now. Now I've got some thyme, and again I'm going to use the verdant just to keep it nice and bright. A nice open stamp again for a little bit of freshness. That spring green around and about. Ooh, you can't see that one. Try it again. There you go. It disappeared. There's not going to be a lot of colouring left, is there? Right, now somewhere, there he is. The last stamp is sage. Let me pop all those inks back. So this I'm going to do really dark, and it's going to show up quite well. I'll try not to leave it floating. They are fabulous, very usable herbs. Again, you're right. Very. I love them. and it would be a shame not to use them. Last one. Again in that cheek. Really helps darken and frame his face. So, delicate operation now. We'll have a little bit of tissue. Oh, you want the flowers look great round him too. Oh, we'll try all sorts. He's a fun old stamp. So I've got a little bit of damp tissue, just a little, and I'm just going to wipe some of that ink off the areas with mast. So when I come to take it off, I'm not spreading too much ink everywhere. And it's a bit of a reveal as well. You sort of see the green man again, having hidden him behind all those herbs and greenery. Nice to get him back. There you go, you can see him again. Let's dry that off. Ooh. And then we can start removing it. Now sometimes I find my fingers don't work so well. Don't know why. Sometimes they do. Today they're working. If you struggle, just use a pencil eraser, just a normal standard eraser, and that will help to get things started. Let me show you. Normal eraser. There you go, it grips it nice. It's quite nice to do this. I love it. It's I don't burn and peel, so this is the nearest I get. This is a fabulous face, isn't it? And this way we haven't lost any of his features. And it doesn't matter that it's gone a little green in places. That's not a problem at all, because we're going to colour him in. But it does mean we haven't buried his features. You just rub that over, make sure I've got everything. Don't rub too hard because you can rub the ink out. Yep, that feels like, look at the mess. That feels like we've got it now. Put that in my rubbish bin. There. There he is. And we can see him again. See, it's worth masking off his face. Right, for colour, I'm going to use my Koh-i-Noor Gioconda Soft Pastels. So I've got several different colours, mostly greens. There's a white and a bit of a purpley colour, and a black in case we needed to make his eyeballs a little darker, but actually they look fine, so I'm going to leave that one out. So I'm going to start with my yellow and colour in my dandelions, just the heads. I love these pencils, they're great to use, great to use. And I think we can have a little of the darker green on there, just a hint, just softens that edge up. And then we need to decide what colour we're going to do our main green man. Let's start with a pale green. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on, just adding that green quite softly just onto the surface of the paper. Now what I do want to do is completely misses the whites of his eyes. I want to leave white. And it doesn't matter if you go slightly out or if you blend it over. It will all add to that background colour. So just relax and don't get too precious about it all. Quite noisy pencils. But I'm just giving it a base colour. Before we add too much detail to him. Isn't he fabulous? He's great to colour in. Gosh, you could go crazy with colour on this. I would use watercolour card. If I was going to use the watercolour pencils, I would use watercolour card to colour onto. Or even the zig pens, just because it's nicer on watercolour paper. That's what it's there for. Plus I do like the watercolour paper, but this is perfect. Multifarious is great for smooshing. It's lovely for that. It really does take water techniques well. There, we've got our main face colour down. And then we can start adding some shading. So let's go for that nice darker green. And you can start seeing some shape arrive on his face just with pencil. And I say these blend so well, and you don't get too much harsh lining with it. Now you can use your finger or a cotton bud, whatever takes your fancy for your shading. I like to feel that it's going on. Take your time and enjoy the process, as I've said before. I think it's when you're colouring a stamp like this that you really get to know it. You get to know its shape and all its little intricate features. It's quite magical. Oh, got a flicky light. Can stop that. like to turn him the right way up every now and again, just to make sure I'm seeing him correctly. And there's some catching the detail I need to catch. And just soften out those colours as you see fit. These blend effortlessly. I can't say that word. Will I seal it? You don't have to. It depends what you're going to do with it. Depends what you're going to do with it. You can. There's lots of sealants out there on the market, lots that you can use. Some people like cheap hairspray, but I'm not for that because it can yellow your work if you're not careful over time. So I like to treat myself to a good one. So blending those colours in makes quite a difference. So we're doing all right, actually. We're doing all right. His eyes are little. That's it. Let's get some of that off. I think I've got, yeah, I've got a little bit of masking fluid left in his eye. I wonder why it wasn't as bright as it should have been. There. It does make a difference if you darken his eyes down, those centres. Let me show you. So this is just a black fine liner. Now, we haven't lost a lot of black, luckily, but it does sharpen his eye a little. So we'll do the other one. Not a huge difference because, like I say, the ink, it's a new ink pad, so it's stamped beautifully. You just don't want to lose the impact of the eye, because after all, that's where the soul is, through the eyes. So let's give some shape to his lips, shall we? I think a little yellow. Don't want to put him lipstick on. And then we'll go that darker sagey colour underneath, just a little. There, he doesn't need much. I think I'm going to go dark there too. How's he looking? He's looking really quite nice, isn't he? Quite smart. So let me pop all these away. We're lucky we've not had to use the white either. And I've got this purple colour, and I'm going to pick out just a hint of colour on this sage. Just a little touch of colour. You know me, I like my finishing touches. So what we got? We have a white Posca pen, of course. So it's white and it's fairly fine, quite fine. And I'm just going to add just a few dots around my dandelions, and actually these summer flowers too. We can pick up those little white flower buds. Whilst we're here. It does make a difference. When you get up close and personal with your card. You know me, I like my little finishing touches. He's great, isn't he? Absolutely gorgeous. Fabulous to use too. Perfect for spring. And these little wispy flowers and dandelions really do finish it off and open up the design for you. Thank you. Glad you like him. He's lovely to work with. And you can use all your favourite stamps and flowers. So let's show you close up a couple of those. Oh, there you go. The light will see it. So it does finish it off. It's very gentle, very subtle. But you know those finishing touches are there. And for a real change, I've got one of the sparkly Posca pens, and this is the violet. Again, on no sage. Just to add a little something. Bit of sparkle, never goes amiss. And it's quite subtle for sparkle. There. We'll let that dry for a second. Put it to one side whilst we get the place ready for a bit of matting layering. So I've got my trusty cutting mat. Ooh, it's one of those self-healing types. Gets a bit curly sometimes. I have a sharp, strong blade. That should be another one of those. And my mat and layer rulers. These are really handy. The layering guides. They've got little edges. There's different measurements on it for different size borders. It just helps you get the borders really straight. I love them. And I think we're going to put him onto a bit of bottle green. So we can mount him a bit like that. First, I've got to dry this glittery bit off. just to make sure. I don't want to smudge it everywhere. And the same principle, I dry the back too. Bippity boppity. Thank you. I'm glad you like him. Some glue around the edge. And a squish in the middle. Just to be sure. Don't think he's going to go anywhere. I'm going to do quite a big border for him, I think. Pop it down. Piece of paper on top. Give it a good rub. You can see that I've not sealed it and there's no pastel come off on that paper. That's it. Wow. Stick down. Hold on. So I'm going to see if we can pop. That one's just the right size. So I'm going to use this measurement, and this one is the 3/4 of an inch. There's the measurements bit there. So that's 19.1 millimeters for the border. So I'm going to let that edge catch like that. It's sitting on that work a treat. Nice sharp blade. Keep it straight. Did you hear that click? Yeah. If it doesn't do that, if it doesn't lock in that way, all you need to do is just run your knife just gently down the edge, and it'll just help lift that edge up. There you go, that sits really nice on there. Last one. And it was just big enough, that bit. And it makes a real difference if you take time. Oh, let's find some white card to put him onto. If you take time to do a nice border. There we go. This is normal white card, it's not multifarious. I use different card formatting and layering. I wouldn't dream of using my bestest paper. Same again. Pop him down. Piece of paper again. Give him a good rub. You're right, Lady Mile High. I agree. And this time we're going to go thinner. So I think I'm going to use 1/4 of an inch all the way around the edge. Now it's up to you as to which edge you work into. So you just move your rule to suit you. Again, it just locks straight in. Pop them away. Save my bigger bits of card for another day. You just never know when you might need them. That little bit of card. Pop that back and we'll take a look at what we've made. There he is. Now hopefully you can see some of that sparkle too, albeit very soft. So he does come with leaves of his own, oak leaves, but I do like just to soup it up a little with some of the other special stamps that we have. Well, thank you very much for joining me today. It's been lovely sharing lunchtime with you. I hope the weather picks up soon for those of you that have got stormy looking skies. And it's time for me to go away and design a make for us for Wednesday. Don't know what we're going to do yet. I'd like to drop you in, you know, a little secret, but I haven't got a secret to share with you as yet. But I have been thinking about it all weekend, as I usually do. I hope the rest of the week is perfectly kind to you, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time. This week, those of you that have got the week off, enjoy. Those of you that have got to go work tomorrow, I hope it's kind to you. It's been fabulous for me. Thank you very much again. Don't forget, thumbs up. I'll see you all Wednesday over on Facebook, the Lavinia Stamps Facebook page. You've got until the 25th to get those competition cards in, so get those sorted. Don't forget, because you've got to be in it to win it. So good luck with that, and I'll see you all Wednesday. Enjoy. Bye now.